Oh boy, it is so sad. It is so disturbing. This is why I stress that employers must value their workers enough to provide, say, a safe place for them, a safe, secure place for them to keep their personal belongings while they're on the job. Last night I was on the A train here in New York City, trying to make it to somewhere that closes at a certain time. I did not want to miss the time. I make sure I left early enough, a good hour and a half. I catch a train, so I would have gotten to the destination maybe 45 minutes, half an hour before they close. They close at 11. So I was on the train, like I got on the train like 9:30, the A train from Manhattan, because I was going to this particular place. And when we got to Canal Street, I took it from 14th Street, so it was like 2, 3 stops, a few stops. We stopped, and I was like, "How comes I'm not hearing it?" We stopped for a while, like a good 5, 10 minutes. I'm not hearing an announcement. The door is open. Once they let people off, and it wouldn't move. It just wouldn't move. It wouldn't move. It wouldn't move. So I'm like, what is going on? No announcement, nothing. So after sitting there for another 15, 20 minutes, I walked because I was in the first 3 cars, and I decided, okay, let me go to the platform, walk to where the conductor asked and asked, what's going on? Why is there no announcement? Why are we just sitting here? When I got there, the conductor, I didn't see anyone. Then I saw a woman coming down towards me, the conductress, and she was walking towards me. And when she came towards me, I said, "What's going on?" She said they stole her pocketbook from out of the little vestibule place where the conductors are. I said, "What?" She said, "Did you see anything?" I said, "No, I just came from another car, 3 door down. But even if you're in the car where the conductor have their little vestibule, you can't see anything. The glass is dark anyway. And unless you see them open the door where to go in, where the conductor go in the car, but they didn't do that." And she said, I said, "What?" And she said, "Yeah." She said she went to check something, and I'm still thinking if maybe it's a setup, and I hope it's not a setup, because that's so sad, and God's judgment will get people if they really set up their co-worker. She said she went to check on something, and I was trying to get to talk to her, but the cops came, and every time I tried to find out from her what was the situation, why she left the car and go check, because it could be a setup, as well as just random people, just because the crooks are just crazy nowadays. They're just taking criminality to a higher level, and they're just coming up with different ways of robbing and stealing and defrauding people and scamming people. It is just terrible out here, and you got to be on your P's and Q's. You can't just take a blind eye off your stuff. You got to just keep constantly be vigilant. So she said she went to the I guess to check something, or maybe I don't know if the emergency brake was pulled or something. That's why I wanted to know exactly, but I didn't get to talk to her again. And she went to check on something in the back of the car or something, another car, a couple of cars down. And when she came back, her pocketbook was gone. And she said she did lock the door. She locked the door. So that means the person has a key, she said. And it's not strange for us to see. I've seen in the past regular persons having a key. I don't know if they probably steal it from someone probably used to work it there before, maybe their relatives, or someone give it to them, sell it to them, whatever, I don't know. But I've seen that like once or twice before. They have a key, and she said the person must have had a key, and the person had a key because she knows she locked it. And I didn't get to remember to ask her if the window thing was open, but the camera was right there. So I'm like, okay, if they came through the window or take through the window, the camera will catch it. Because it was a long investigation. We were there in the subway for a good hour before they moved the train, emptied out the train, and took us back, emptied out the train, and took us back to, and let us take another train. We were in the subway for that long before they emptied the train and tell us, and everybody was just frustrated because you could tell people were going to work, people have places to be at a certain time. It was just very upsetting, and I was so annoyed. But then when I found out, it was my heart break for her. But this is what I'm saying. This is MTA. MTA should have maybe some kind of locker. And even if they do, if this was an inside job, then they might have a key for the locker too. Who knows? But the person had a key and opened the door while the woman go and check. That's why I kind of feel strongly. Either they're just a good opportunist criminal who just see the opportunity, or there is a setup from a criminal to say, okay, let's just pull the emergency brake or do something where the train has to stop and she go check, and then we're going to take the bag. This is well planned out. Or it was an inside job where somebody, our own co-worker or somebody set her up. And I feel so bad. Her credit card, her wallet, everything she said, it seemed like her keys. I feel so bad for this young lady. I wanted to talk to her more to see if she's new on the job, you know, because I've never seen this or heard this. So this was very disturbing. I was very upset that this happened to her. And so therefore, you know, you got to be just vigilant on these transportation in New York City. If this can happen to the conductor, it can happen to any of the commuter, and which we see. I've seen robberies before on the train so many times. It's disturbing, especially one particular line, the 7 line. One time I had to stop and talk to some cops and tell them, listen, you got to have cops out here at a certain time, because I could see people going in people's pocket while they're sleeping. And that's why the cops now, they walk around. If you fall asleep, they wake you up at a certain time of night and just trying to just let you know there's just vicious criminals out here. But back to the lady, I feel so bad for this conductress. You know, they took her bag and she said they had a key because she knows she locked the door, the little vestibule area. I didn't get to ask her if the window was open, but if they took it from the window, the camera was right there. A camera was like a few feet away, a few inches away, so it would pick them up as the cops do their investigation. There was cops coming, different cops talking to her. I just can't tell you. So I'm telling you, it's just such a hot mess out here. Be careful, be vigilant. You know, just the other day I had one of those pocketbook thing on my back, and I just felt something. A guy was standing on the step, and I just kind of shug it and run. When I got on the train, because I was walking quickly to get a train, my bag was open. And it's a good thing I shook myself and ran, because I felt that's what the person was doing. Also, I have one of those pocketbooks that it has a 2-zipper. If I have those knapsack kind of pocketbook or those backpack kind of pocketbook, it has a 2-zipper. What I do, I put a lock sometimes on it. I put a lock sometimes when I'm going into crowds and stuff, because people, they're not playing. And as you see, New York City is just filled with everybody now from all over, all kinds of criminals from all over. It's just a hot mess. I'm just saying, just be careful out here, and employers need to really value their workers enough to give them a safe place to keep their belongings, their personal things while they're on the job.